Glazing is a passion. Some would say glazing is an art, but most importantly, glazing is a choice. And like NBA fans to King Braun, I have glazed dice for Battlefield 6 since launch. Because if Battlefield 6 has 1 million fans, I am one of them. If Battlefield 6 has 10 fans, I am one of them. If Battlefield 6 has no fans, that means I am no longer on this earth. And if the world is against Battlefield 6, that means I am against the world. However, as a growing channel, I cannot only be subjected to my viewpoint on a topic. And I want to apologize for those who did not experience the best this past winter offensive update. Because after scrolling through the medias and taking in different perspectives, I'm noticing that they did mostly the PC community dirty. Dirtier than what Dragon Ball does to Vegeta. Dirtier than Toei Animation does to our boy Sanji. I would go so far to say dirtier than what Eren did to the world. Okay, wait, probably not that bad, but you get the point. Battlefield 6 has killed the momentum they had for this game, and today I want to talk about how this update affected it, the negatives on it, the recorrection they're taking, and the future of Battlefield 6. Typically, negativity is not something I will seek out on this channel, although I know it brings in clicks. I try to spread the positivity when I can because hate is the easiest thing to spread. Except this thing, I hate this piece of shit. Anyways, without wasting any more time, let's get to it. I want to start off by saying that Battlefield 6 in my experience has had plenty of updates in such a short time. However, something I'm noticing during almost every update is that some players will reap the benefits, like myself, while some players will not. For example, a month and a half ago when I was first starting this channel, Battlefield did a quick update concerning the movement and other aspects, and while the game ran great for some, I could not play the game above 60 frames. And after the next update, my game was fixed, but a buddy of mine would just crash every time he tried to play. So it was ignorant for me not to shed those aspects in the last video. Now this update, while it has helped some people, and I mean very few people, it has negatively been affecting others with stutter, hit registration issues, loading in issues, and for some audio issues. Like for example, I'm starting to notice that in Ice Lock, I can't hear past the snowstorm, which is semi-realistic because you're not going to be able to hear past a snowstorm in real life, but I can't hear footsteps around me and I can't tell where people are coming from. This doesn't happen on any other map, this just happens on Ice Lock, for me. While I personally haven't experienced the stutter or the hit registration issues myself, now that I know about it, I'm going to blame every death on the hit registration. Because remember folks, the #1 rule of being a gamer is that when you die, you can always blame it on lag. I personally think Battlefield tried to do too much too soon. I'm sure you guys read the patch notes, and I'm sure after this patch you guys definitely read the patch notes and realized they did quite the amount of changes. I found on Comic Book that they did over 100 changes. I'm personally not going to go through and count over to 100 on the amount of changes, so I'm just going to take this at face value because we all know Marines can't count. Now, what puzzles me about this update is that they decided to do this the day before their biggest tournament. And while Battlefield has always been a casual game, I've been wondering, how did this get greenlit from the higher ups to happen? Like, whose bright idea was it to do over 100 changes before their first major competition? Because it's definitely clear that, for lack of a better term, Battlefield has been leeching and stealing the Call of Duty community. With the maps, the movement they've built, the decisions as of recently. I mean, the recent movement bug that was just released was so hated on by streamers and fast-paced movers that it was fixed within a day, and the tanks were nerfed because of the streamers complaining about tanks in Battle Royale. But the menu bug wasn't fixed. The way how we get to decide Ice Lock and all the new events, that wasn't fixed overnight. That just seems a bit weird. Anyways, going back to the tournament, if they're going competitive, why would they risk it all? It just does not make sense. It seems like too big of a risk, especially when they've been doing so well recently. The North American tournament was postponed until further notice, and I'm guessing it's going to happen sometime early next year, which sucks for those who put in the time to practice with their team and who took off of work. I'm guessing on the bright side, it actually is a good thing, so the bugs don't affect who actually deserves to win the tournament, I guess. I can definitely see the bugs messing with the tournament and a lot of players raging. It would be pretty messed up, but not as messed up as you not hitting that sub button after hearing me yap all this time. Now, I made a post not that long ago saying that Battlefield 6 is not dead, and I feel like I'm eating my words now. I didn't take out my crystal ball to see this moment, but we, and yes, I mean we, you and me, I'm not speaking French, as Battlefield fans are at an all-time low. Going from over 700K to a staggering drop, you hate to see it. And I'm gonna be real, Battlefield has never been a game where it holds the player base longer than a few months, but it does seem to stabilize after a while. These are not the numbers I would want it to stabilize at. In fact, what's actually interesting about this specific Battlefield is that it seems to be getting worse as time is going on. From what I'm seeing from the community, there's a lot of outrage, and some content creators are actually even saying that the game was better in the beta. Meanwhile, if you were here for Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 launch, you would know that those were dark times for the community, at least for a few months, and I'm pretty sure Battlefield 4 was down bad for almost a year. Now, as I stated in previous videos, DICE is listening and DICE is on their way to fix it. You could probably call it cope, but the original thought was that they left for the holidays. After this update, however, with the game being in its current condition, they could not have left it like this. So they have hot fixes coming our way, because I'm pretty sure we did not spend $80 for this game not to work. I would almost understand it if it was a free-to-play game, but the big 80? Crazy, especially for something like this. For us PC players, they released or will release, which by the time of this recording should be today or shortly after, a fix for the stuttering problem. I run the game on EA, so I personally have not experienced this, but if anyone asks, I'm still gonna blame it on lag anyway whenever I die. If you're playing on Steam, you can get rid of this issue temporarily by turning your friends list offline, which really has me wondering, how did someone find that out in such a short time? But kudos to whoever found that out. For the menu bug, we're gonna have to wait a little longer to get a solution on this. This will not be corrected until December 15th. They have claimed to have fixed daily challenges, conquest tickets, battle pass tier skipping in the winter offensive path, battle royale bugs, and the changes to the momentum I spoke about earlier. However, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people were enjoying that, which is kind of crazy that they changed that within 48 hours. Issues that are in development are the main menu bugs, the firing range, bot stat tracking is back, so you're gonna see a lot of people flexing their KD trackers again, and rubber banding with minimum specs. One of the final things that is being fixed is also breakthrough. Breakthrough had noticeable things that went bad, with the tanks being one of them with the spawning issues. However, in my experience, Manhattan Bridge has at least been playing better with breakthrough, so hopefully they can make some changes while keeping that intact. It appears that reporting and giving them feedback has been working. As someone who's taking a lot of copium, I can only pray that they're cooking right now. It's almost like some of us have seen this happen before. A hot new game releases at the end of the year with two other games releasing side by side, and it dominates the competition because one of the games flopped and the other game just can't compete. And then the devs go off to holidays. I just can't put my finger on it. As long as DICE does not come back from vacation and then complain that the workload is too much, I still have hope. Fool me once, $1 million corporation, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Because remember, the #1 rule is to never take accountability. So technically I wasn't wrong in the last video. This update did cook, but it probably cooked Battlefield's future more than anything. Battlefield 6 has taken a massive hit with this update, and the community is definitely not happy. Back before the update, this game had a very bright future, and now it's on thin ice. Would I say Battlefield 6 is dead? Definitely not. There's still plenty of players playing even during holiday times. This is gonna take the effort of both parties to work. Us as Battlefield fans have to come together and just wait, hoping that DICE pulls through with the next update, and DICE needs to correct this quickly. Especially the menu fix, because if I have to reset your game to play your game, I'm probably going to go to your competition. With the ever-hounding pressure of the streamers, the tournament flopping, and ARC raiders putting up serious numbers, because let's be real, Call of Duty is not doing anything relevant this year, they have a lot of pressure to live up to. I am hoping for future updates they are widespread and they don't just benefit one group while outcasting another. Because from what I'm seeing, a lot of console players don't even notice some of the negatives while the PC players are struggling. Granted, this is just a small channel, so if DICE actually ever looked at this, it's not like they would give a anyways.
We do not care.
However, a tic tac at 1,000 miles still hurts. I know your ex has told you that before, and it's true. We're definitely a small but growing channel. 300 strong to be exact, just like the Spartans. We have more than quintupled the goal that I set out for the new year. and I appreciate every single one of you. I am thankful that I am able to entertain so many of you guys and for the feedback which allows me to make better videos. In the spirit of thankfulness, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for the next video for the holiday season. I have been stumped thinking on how to do this, so I actually have to go study up on the guidelines to make sure that I don't get that ban hammer. However, once I figure out how everything works, expect an announcement on one of my socials and in the upcoming next video. I have to clearly state that Twitch and/or YouTube does not endorse or sponsor this. If you want to see me rage on Twitch, I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 to 11 Eastern Time PM, and I will be dipping into Marvel Rivals shortly. Hopefully by next video, most of these issues that we discussed today will be on a brighter path for the Battlefield future, because it's been such a long time since I've enjoyed a modern shooter like this. If you haven't already, please hit that like, subscribe, and turn those noties on, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.